Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be continuing on in Passion Week, okay? I'm going to cover the song Don't Cry by Kirk Franklin in the key of D-flat major. The singers in that video were simply amazing, and if you would like to check out that whole video, I'll drop the link to the video on YouTube in the description box below. Alright, so again, this is in D-flat. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, right? The song actually uses a circular movement or circular progression. It starts off on the 2, it goes to the 5, then it goes to the 1, then it goes to the 4, then it goes to the 7, to the 3, and the 6 is normally minor, right? But here they're going to go major, okay? And then you go back to the beginning, to the 2. Alright, that's the whole song. So what you want to do is you want to build your vocabulary. You want to know what chord options you can use on the 2, on the 5, on the 1, on the 4, on the 7, the 3, and the 6. Now the cool thing is I have a whole video lesson on chord options in the key of D-flat major for each tone of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's a dope video. Make sure you check it out. All right. Anyway, so we know that you want to have chord options, right? And then once you have chord options for each part of the song, now you want to build up your vocabulary, or what are passing chords and movements I can get to and from each part of the song. All right, and if you really want to build up your vocabulary in that regard, check me out at Focus Fundamentals, my Focus Fundamentals course at kmtcpro.com, and it's going to be a blessing to you. All right, anyways, let's get down to business in the song. So it starts off on the 2. We know the 2 is typically minor, so E flat, right? It's going to be E flat minor, but you have options. You can do it as an E flat minor triad, right? You can make it like an E flat minor 9, right? Or you can make it like an E flat minor 11th. And there are other things you can do, but in general terms, you know, the 2 is minor and you have those few options. So anyways, you start off on the 2, which you're going to play E flat in your left hand. Right hand, I'm thinking play G flat major, and that gives me my E flat minor 7th when I play it all together. So E flat in my left hand, right hand's going to be G flat, B flat, and D flat. If you are more advanced, you don't have to just play a single note in your left hand. You can actually start to do some voicings there. So I made an E flat minor 7th in my left hand. 1, 3, 5, and then there's a 7. So it's E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat in my left hand. Right hand, I'm just playing that same 4, that G flat major, G flat, B flat, and D flat. Or you can play around with your right hand options and make it like a B flat minor in that hand, or you can make it a D flat major in that hand. You got options, okay? I'm not going to do this for every tone because again that video breaks it down. But anyways, you're going to do the 2, right? Now I'm thinking play the 4 major, which is G flat, B flat, and D flat, different inversions, over the 5, which is A flat, and you can add that E flat if you like. So 2, 4 over 5, and then you can make this 5 either a major chord, so A flat, E flat, and A flat in your left hand. Right hand's playing A flat major, A flat C, and E flat. Or you can do the 4 over 5 and then make it a dominant chord, dominant 7th, right? And again, you got options. You can make this a dominant 7th, 9th, 13th, and you can start altering things if you like. All right, that's how this music thing works. But you get the structure down and you get that chord vocabulary, you can do some pretty fun stuff. We'll get to more advanced things in a moment, but 2, 4 over 5, then I play the 5 as a major dominant chord, then I go to the 1. Now instead of playing it as a regular, just a D flat major, which is D flat, F, and A flat, right? D flat, F, and A flat. Instead of playing it like that, what I'm doing is playing the chord extension. So instead of just a major chord, I like to voice it like this and play like a major seventh. All right. So from the beginning, 2, 4 over 5, 5, 1. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm arpeggiating that. I'm not playing it all together. I'm playing it. I'm making rhythms out of just the different notes of the chord. So they're kind of broken. And then after the 1, I'm going to my 4, which is a G flat major. 4 is major, right? So you could play a G flat major, which that's kind of boring. I mean, it sounds fine. You could do that. What I like to do is add the extension. So you can play it with the 7th or the 9th. I like to play it like this with a G flat major 7. All right, so G flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. In my left hand, right hand, I'm playing or thinking. Play the 3rd tone. How do I for my major 7ths, right? My 3rd, make that a minor chord. So 1, 2, 3. Play that as a minor. So that's B flat minor. But when I play that over my G flat major, now I got a major 7th chord. All right. So from the top, 2, 5 or 4 over 5 to the 1 to the 4. Now I do my 7-3-6. A lot of times in gospel, the 7-3-6, the 7 is a half diminished chord. So the 7 is C. So I'm going to play a C half diminished. And so the easy way to think about the C half diminished chord is play the root, which is C, count up 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, and play a minor triad, E flat minor over that C, gives me a C minor 7 flat 5, also known as a C half diminished chord, right? So that's my 7. And there's certain things you could do there. We'll play around with that in a minute, but I just want to give you the basic 7, right? Now on the 3, I really do like to play this as just a straight major triad, which is F, A, and C, right? And I fatten it up by just doubling everything in my left and my right. Okay, and then we talked about how it goes to the 6, which is typically minor. You can do that, or you could really suspend it by making it A flat major. But really what I like, what they do sometimes in the song is they just go straight to a major 7th. They flip it, right? Instead of going minor, they go major, and it sounds good. So specifically, this is a major 7th chord, B flat, D, F, and A, right? And then D flat. But I'm not thinking of those individual chords. I'm thinking, how do I form a major 7th, right? This is why I had those lessons earlier to show you the basics of how to play these different chords. So I'm thinking B flat in my left hand, so B flat. And then in my right hand, what's the 5 of B flat major? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's F. Play F major. And it works, right? That sounds good, but I really like it when you play that 3 minor, right? So the 3 is 1, 2, 3. The 3 B flat, that is D. So D minor over that B flat gives you a B flat major 7th. Okay, and then I'm just doubling, filling in there with the F and the B flat. All right, so all together, the song goes 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6. We talked about a 2 is E flat minor, 4 or 5 is 4 over the 5, right? Then I make that 5 major or dominant. Then you go to the 1. Then you go to the 4. 7 is half diminished. 3. Then my 6. And that's the whole song, right? And then if you want to get back to that 2, there's some different options you can do. Alright, so now that we know the basic structure of the song, now the cool thing is with this song you can start using secondary dominants to get you from one part to the next. So for example, if you're on the 2 and you want to go to the 5, this 5 to the 1, that's a regular dominant, right? But let's say I want to get to the 4. If I want to get to the 4, I can play a chord that's a 5 above it. That's a 5th above it. So what's the 5th of G flat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th of G flat major is D flat. So I can play a dominant chord on that 1 to get me back to the 4. So let's do it. Let's start off with the 2, right? 4 over 5 to the 5 to the 1. 1 is major, right? But I can do a dominant really fast to take me to the 4. You see what I did? So the 1 is a major chord, but I can make it a dominant chord and take me to the 4. Now this is the cool part. Because this 1 is dominant, I can play it as a dominant seventh chord, just make it straight dominant seventh, right? So D, F, D flat, F, A flat. That's 1, 3, 5. Flat at seventh is the B, right? I don't have to do just a regular dominant seventh chord. I can start altering the extensions, or I can alter the chord. So, I'll give you an example. 5, 1, 4. You see that? Or I could do 2, 5, 1, 4. All right, let's do one more. I could do 2, 5, 1 to the 4. All right, and it just keeps going and going and going. 2, 5, 1. What else could I do? 1, 4. There's just a lot of things you could do there. All right, and we'll talk about those things in future videos, like how do I alter my dominant chord so fast. All right, but anyway, so we know how to get from the 1 to the 4. Let's do a couple more. 2, 5, 1, 4. That's something else you could do, right? And we'll start talking about those movements, like I said, in future videos. I'm so excited. All right, so now we got the 2, 5, 1. So we're at the 4. Then, we have the 7, 3, 6. So on the 7, we talked about how that's typically a half diminished chord, and that's true. But there are other things you could do here. On the 7, you can actually make it like a C7 sus4. So how do I find that voicing for the 7? I play my root. I think go a whole step down, which is B flat, and play a sus chord, sus2. B flat, C, and F, right? And you can invert it, and if you invert it, right, you put the B flat on the top. Now, guess what? It's a chordal chord in this position. So I could also look at this as like the C sus2, the B flat sus2 over the C, or I could think on the 7, form a chordal chord, 7, right? Those things work and they sound good. On the 3, you got a lot of different things you can do on this 3. All right, so on the 3, I started off just playing it as like a major triad, F major, but you could play it as a dominant 7. So F dominant 7, F, A, C, and E flat. All right, so let's do that. 2, 4 over 5, 5, 1, 4. All right, here we go. The 7, 7, 3, 6. Okay, so in that 3, you can make it a dominant 7th. And because I can make this 3 a dominant 7th, guess what I can do? Now I can play altered dominant chords on this, y'all. It gets crazy. So I could do things like this. 7, 3, 6. That sounds good. All right, so all together, let's try that. 2, 5, 1, 4, right? Here you go. 7, 3, 6. All right. Other things you can do on that 3. So you can make it regular major chord, dominant 7th. I started altering it, right? What is that altered chord right there? That is like a F7 with a flatted 9th. Right? What's the 9th? If you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. That would be 9th. If I flat it, that's where that G flat is. And I threw it up there, right? And it's augmented because the 5th is sharpened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharp, right? There's some shortcuts to remember in these chords. Keep watching the channel, and I'm going to show all of this stuff to you guys, all right? Not in this video, it's too much, but in the channel I will. All right, so here we go. 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, right? 3, 6. All right. Let's do another thing you can do on the 3. So 2, 5, 1, 4, right? 7, 3, 6. Ooh, a lot of tension on that, right? And you got to be careful with this. If you're singing with people who are like singing harmonies and things like that, I probably wouldn't do all of this stuff. But if I'm just playing and there's just one person singing, I'd respect the melody, but I'd play around with this stuff. Like this right here. That sounds good, right? So 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6. All right. And then on that 6, there's a ton of things you could do. After you play the 6, it's like that major chord, that major 7th. You can add some tension and make that like a dominant chord, right? So I played the B flat, dominant 7th there. So B flat, D, B flat. You can play the A flat if you want there, because it's the flatted 7th of the chord. So that's what makes it gives it that dominant 7th sound. The minute you change this B flat to an A flat, now you got your dominant chord. So, and that takes you to the 6. That's a secondary dominant. Okay, secondary dominants again are dominant chords that are used to move up and like move a fourth away, right? So if I want to get to this E flat, then how do I find the secondary dominant? Go to its 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is B flat, right? So I can play B flat dominant 7th before I get to that E flat, which is, and here's where the 4th comes into play, right? The B flat to E flat is a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if I want to move in 4ths, like the circle of 4ths, I can play the dominant chord, right? If I want to figure out like, okay, this is the chord I'm trying to go to, I count up and find its 5th, and that's going to tell me what chord to play before I play it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I'll have a tutorial on all of this stuff for you guys. All right, so from the top, 2, 5, 1, 4, 7. Okay, here we go. 3, 6, right major, dominant chord to the 2. All right, so that's how that works. Now, because this is a dominant chord, I don't have to play it just as a dominant 7th, right? I can start playing like dominant 9ths or 11th and 13ths. You know, I can do all types of stuff there. All right, and you got to do this tastefully, guys, but I want to give you some cheat codes here. So on that 6, one thing you can do is play like, let's see, you can play a B. Oh God, this is crazy. You can play a B minor chord, right? So B minor is B, D, and F sharp or G flat, right? So if I want to play this as an augmented chord, all I'm doing is playing a B minor over top of the 1, 3, and flatted 7 in my left hand. All right, and again, I'm gonna have lessons on all of this. Like, how am I coming up with these things? I'm gonna have lessons for it, but right now, just follow me. All right, so 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, right, 5, 1, 7, 3, 6. All I did here is augment it, right? And then that takes me back to my 2. So augment it is 1, 3, 5, right? Flat 7th, make it like a dominant chord. Instead of playing B flat regular in my right hand, right? B flat major, I'm gonna augment it, and you take that 5th, a half step. And I'm just playing around with the inversions. All right, sounds good. Secondary dominance, we gotta learn them. So 2, 5, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, right? Okay, which one was that? Again, that's like a B flat dominant 11th chord. So I'm just thinking 1, 3 flat 7th, and a whole step below my root is A flat major, right? And so that's the hacks I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you guys. 1, 4, right, and it's like really endless, the possibilities here of things that you can do. It's really endless. All right, but anyways, that is Don't Cry in the key of D flat major by Kirk Franklin. All right, I've showed you guys too much today. Go home, practice this, slow this video down, take from it what you can. But I'm gonna break all of this stuff down. It's too much for YouTube, and you need structure. You need structure and order, and that's why you should check me out, kmtcpro.com. Focus Fundamentals. All right, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you drop down a comment. Let me know what songs you all need to learn for Passion Week. Let me know what songs your service is doing. All right, I hope this is a blessing to you. Every day at 7 for the next week, we're going to be doing one song for Passion Week. All right, that was Don't Cry by Kirk Franklin. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.